So let's start the Maimer. This is the 38th Maimer in volume 2 in the Maimorim Melukot. And this is the Maimer that Rebbe said, Yud Shvat, Tovshin Yutes. Bosi Legani Chesikalo. Now, we did the Maimer Tovshin Yud, that was by the Frierdiker Rebbe. But we did, from the Rebbe, we did Yud Aleph, you did Yud Beis, we did Yud Gimel. Then there is a jump over the not Mugadik Maimorim. Of course, the Rebbe said a Maimer every year, but they didn't. The Rebbe was Magia. The next Maimer, the Rebbe was Magia, was the Maimer of Yud Shvat Tovshin Yud. Okay, so we'll do that Maimer now. Yud Shvat Tovshin Yud, Bosi Legani Achesikalo. And this is mainly, as the Maimer had 20 chapters, so in Tovshin Yutes, the Rebbe reviewed mainly the ninth chapter. That's the basis of this Maimer, is the ninth chapter of the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maimer of Bosi Legani. Okay. Seite the Shmaya, Yud Shvat Hei Tovshin Yutes, and here it says Hanocha. Some of the Maimorim just said Hanocha. Hanocha means basically they put it down. I'm not sure why the Rebbe, sometimes the Rebbe wanted it to say Hanocha, but these were all looked over by the Rebbe and checked over, so these are all Mugadik Maimorim. So he quotes, of course, but first, the Rebbe makes a review of the Maimer up till chapter 9 till 10, and then the 9, and then the Rebbe gets into this chapter 9 explaining it. So Bosi Legani Achesikalo, I've come to the garden. My sister, my bride. This is Hashem saying to the Yidden. He calls them in a love of affection, my sister, my bride. And he says that Bosi Legani, I've come to my garden. So my father-in-law, the Rebbe, explains in the Maimer, Al pi hamevur b'medrash, based on what it says in the Medrash. It says Legani lignuni. My garden means ginuni, my place of pleasure, where a person comes to enjoy. That's the garden. So this is the ginuni. So Hashem came to his place of ginuni. Why is this world called ginuni? Lemokoim shahoyo ikri batchila. Hashem comes back to a place where he was mainly in the beginning. Hashem manifests himself in various different places, different levels. But Ikri, where was the main? Hashem, in the beginning, he was in this place where he's coming now to, which is the Ikir Shechina b'tachtoinim hoiso. The main Shechina was in the bottom, was here in the low tachtoinim. And he's coming back. The Betchila Sabriya Olam al Miluoi Nivro. The way it was created in the beginning, the world was created complete. It was fully created on the fullest level. And what happens? Through the sin of the Eitz Hadas, of course, that was by Adam Harishon. And then it followed with the sin of Cain and the Doirenes, the various different sins. 7 sins. So from the first sin, Eitz Hadas, from Adam Harishon, and then Vachatoim Shel Achrov, and the sins that followed, the sin of Eitz Hadas, Silku es Ashchino, they have moved away the Shechina milmata l'maylo, from below to above, ad Rikiya Hazayin, until the 7th Rikiya. B'hat Tzadikim, and the Tzadikim, al Yidei Avidosom. Take a break for a second over here, because I noticed. Okay. So then they removed the Shechina, Silkos Ashchina, Milmata Lamaila Ad Rikiya Hazayin, till the 7th Rikiya. Okay. And then Vatzadikim, then the righteous, Al Yidei Avedosom, through their service, Himshichu as Hashchino, Milmaila Lamata. They brought down the Shechina from above to below. So the Avedis brought the Shechina up all the way to the Rekia HaZayin. And then the Tzadikim, with their Aveda, they brought the Shechina down Milmaila Lamata, from above to below. So who was the first one to be Mamshich? Was Avram. Avram was the first of the tzaddikim. Shehu Yorishan, he was the first. He brought it down from the seventh heaven to the sixth, etc. Ad Shabo Moshe, till Moshe came around. Shehu Hashavi, he is the seventh. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, till Moshe. Moshe is the seventh, v'chol hashvin chavivin. And the seventh are especially dear. So, v'yiridam b'rikiya ha'alef l'mata ba'aretz. So he brought down the divine from the first rikiya below to the earth. V'lachein. So basically, Moshe Rabbeinu being the seventh tzaddik, he brought the Shechina back, Bosi Legani, he brought the Shechina back from the Kia Zayin to Vav. And that's why Moshe Nemar, for Moshe to Moshe was said, make for me a Migdosh, so I will dwell amongst you, basically, that Moshe brings down the Shechina B'Seicham, the Shechina over here. So literally, what does it mean, Shechanti B'Seicham? The kipshutei koyel amshochas elakus sheyiyel lemato ba'aretz. Pashtus, it means to draw down godliness that it was shehoyel lemato ba'aretz. It was below in the ground. He made the Shechina. He made the Migdosh. He brought the Shechina down into the world. That's the Bosi Legani. That's bringing it from the Shechina, the Kia Hazayin Aleph, to the earth. But v'gam k'may merazal, but also, like the saying of our sages of lesser memory, b'soichei loy namar elo b'soichom, that it doesn't say the Shechina will be in it, meaning in the Mishkan, I will dwell in the Mishkan, but it says I will dwell amongst you, b'soichom, which means b'soich kol echad v'echad b'Yisrael, amongst each and every one of the Jewish people. According to this, he explains the reason Masha HaMishkan, the Mishkan Iyu Migdosh, Mishkan Iyu Migdosh Iyu Mishkan. So the Maimer explains the reason that the Mishkan. Now, the Pasuk says V'osuli Migdosh. The Migdosh and the Mishkan is really one and the same, because the Migdosh is a follow-up. It's the place of the resting of Hashem. So, but the Mishkan, or Migdosh, Mishkan, the Mishkan is the Migdosh. The Migdosh is the Mishkan. They're really the same. I mean, this explains it was only the temporary structure. The Mishkan was from Atzishitim, not the Beis HaMikdash. But that's really includes everything, because the Migdosh is also called Mishkan. So he explains it was from Hoya Ma'atze Shittim. It was from Shittim wood. So what is the idea of Atze Shittim? The Shittim who Meloshin Hatoya. Shittim is from the language of moving away, tilting. Kamesha Kosuf Shotuha. Let's talk about when they came to collect the mon. So there is the regular path, and Shotuha, they scattered all over. They tilted. They went away from the normal way, and they went to the sides to collect the mon. That is when you move away from the straight, and the middle ground is called shittim, is called the middle way, and then you have moving to the side. Either way, either you move to the side higher or lower, than the middle. Sheyeshna b'beizei fanim. It could be in two ways. Ha'atoyo miderech hamitzua ligirua, to move away from the middle way to worse. V'ha'atoyo miderech hamitzua l'toiv, or moving from the middle way to good, to better. You can either move away from the path to worse, or you can move away from the path to make it better. What would be when we say shitim hatoya, turning to worse, to hukamay merazal? That would be like the saying of our sages that say, "Ein adam over avera elim ke nichnas by ruach shtus." That a person would not violate a sin unless that spirit of shtus, the shtus meaning turning away from the right way, he gets a spirit of shtus that tilts him away ligarua, makes him worse, to go away from the normal way, the full road to the main road, and he goes away off to the side to do a shtus, to do an avera. Ushtus, so this shtus, who ashtus the lumazeh. So that shtus is the shtus of the other side. And shtus the olam, and that's the shtus of the world. The world when it goes in the legerua. This shtus of the other side, you need to turn it around and be mahapichet to the level of shtus de kedusha. What is shtus de kedusha? Is as v'havoida shalamaylu metam vadas. That's when you serve the Eibishter beyond reason, beyond understanding, higher than reason understanding. That is shtus kedusha. That's a higher level. That's beyond the regular avodah is al pitam vadas. And when you go beyond tam vadas and you serve Hashem with devotion beyond your reason and logic, that's called shtus de kedusha. And this is the turning around from shtus of the other side to shtus of kedusha, which was this is Iker Avodas HaMishkan u'Mikdash. That was the main service of the Mikdash, the Mishkan and the Mikdash. To turn it around. That way, it becomes, I dwell amongst you. Iker Shechina b'tachtonim. That way, the Eibishter rests amongst you, and the Shechina comes down in this world. Basi legani, leginoni. The Eibishter comes to his ginuni, comes to this world, comes down how? When we turn around from the shtus to the umazeh, bring it into the shtus to kedusha, that's where the Eibishter comes down. That's how he rests amongst us. Basi legani. So based on this, the Maimer also explains Hatam, the reason crushing. These cedar woods are referred to as crushing. These beams are called keresh. Shekol Hashem is Shebetoira. All the names, since it's called keresh, all the names of the Torah, Hem B'diuk, are precise. And they fit their contents what they are. They fit, they're called keresh because that's what they are. So what's the idea of keresh? The ha'oisios the keresh, heim oisios sheker, the oisios kesher. Keresh, the beam, has the same letters as sheker, shin kufreish. Keresh is kufreish shin, is shin kufreish, and also the oisia is the same letters as kesher, a knot, a tie. Behainu. So what does it mean? Keresh has this sheker and kesher. Asher mehasheker de olam. So that means that the beams, the sheker of the world, from sheker, tzorich lahapchom v'lasis mehem karsha mishkan. From sheker, from falsehood, you have to make from them beams, the kroshim, for the mishkan. B'chinas kesher, you tie them. So instead of sheker, you make it into a kesher. Sheker of the world, you make it into a keresh, which is a kesher, the kasher kol inyonei ha'olam b'shchina, to tie all world matters with the shchina, ubeikir shchina, not just the shchina and the mei shchina, shu pnimius ve'atzmus ein sof baruch hu. The ikir shchina is the inner and the essence of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So we tie the world not just mekasher with Ein Sof, with the Shechina, but the Iker Shechina. The Pnimis V'Atzis Sof Baruch Hu. Because Moshe Mevayer Beprotius, in the Maimer, he articulates very specifically Oisiyos Kuf V'Reish, the letter of Kuf V'Reish, Ve'eich Shayich B'Nek Kenegdo, in the words in Sheker, they would be in the negative. And how it applies opposite of the kuf v'reish, you have them in kedusha, the kuf and the reish. That you have to turn them around, the letters of kuf and reish, which are sheker. Usually the kuf has only one leg, the long leg. The reish also has one point. That means that it's not stable, that it's a level, it shows on the level of Lumazah, and then you turn them around and you make them into the opposite of Kedusha, to have the Kufresh Kedusha, that one needs to swap him, turn him over. From the letters as they are in letters of falsehood, forged letters. That's the lashon of the Zohar. The Zohar says there's letters that are forged letters. They're not the real letters. They're forged. There's oisuvan de ziyufa. You take those forged letters, those letters kuf and reish, as they are in the forged letter in asva de ziyufa, linyone toivi kedusha, to matters of holiness, good and holiness. Ukavivur kol hanal ba'arichos b'sifim hakoidmim, as mostly explained in the previous Seifim. This is basically in the Maimer, in Maimorim that the Rebbe said, Tavshin Yud Aleph till Tavshin Yud Ches. Every year the Rebbe explained a piece of that Maimer. And now we'll go to the Ois Beis. The Ois Beis begins to explain the ninth Ois test. In the Maimer in Siftes, he explains, Shezeu gamke masha hakroshim nikroim b'shem oimdim. Also, the kroshim is also, they're called standing. Atzei shitim oimdim. The pasuk says they are cedar aitzim that stand. Why are they called oimdim? Ukamashekosu, as the pasuk says, Vasiso esam kroshim la mishkan, make the krosh on the Mishkan atzei shitim oimdim. So we see that these cedar words are called oimdim, standing. Now, oimdim is the same letters as amudim. Amudim means pillars. Oimdim, umevayer, the oimdim hu inyan amudim. That the oimdim is the idea of amudim, pillars. So, because atven didain ki atven didain, the letters of oimdim is the same letters as the letters of amudim. It's just the vav is after the ayin oimdim, and here the amudim, the vav is after the mem, but it's the exact same letters. Okay, the Isa b'meseches Yuma al posik. Over there in the Gemara, the pasuk Atzei, it says the Oimdim hu inyan mamidim. Oimdim means they're standing, means the mamidim, they stand, they place, they make stand. What does that mean? What is the idea of mamidim? So the Maimer explains, so like this, like you have a post, you have a mudim, and then you have like the top, the roof stands, you put it on the amudim, you put a post, and you put a roof onto the post. That's called the amudim. Those are the pillars that hold the roof. What is the idea of a pillar? Is the pillar connects the roof and the floor, that it should be one. The floor, the roof is on the top, the floor is on the bottom. That pillar connects, makes it into one structure, that the pillar makes this one, that it keeps the roof and the floor, makes it together. It should be like one, actually. So this is the idea of amudim, and this is the idea of the kroshim. V'zehu inyan hakroshim shenikroim b'shem amudim, and that's the kroshim. They're called amudim. Shehu al derech. These kroshim is similar to the inyan hamitzvus shenikroim b'shem amudim. Also, the idea of mitzvahs, and the idea of mitzvahs are also called pillars. The older mitzvahs, Taryag mitzvahs, are called Taryag Amudim. They are 613 pillars. Why are the mitzvahs called pillars? Lefi sheheim mamshichim umechabrim oirin sof baruch hu im ha'olamis mamash. Because they connect, they are the connecting pieces that they draw down, and they connect the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. The mitzvahs connect the blessed Ein Sof, blessed be He, the infinite light of the Ein Sof, Im ha'olamis mamash, with the worlds. That's the pillar that makes it one, that makes the Ein Sof with the world. That's by mitzvahs. Same thing is Hinegam HaKroshim, also the Kroshim, they connect the Ein Sof with the world. That's why they're amudim, because the kroshim of the Mishkan act as the amudim, to connect the Ein Sof with the world. In the idea that we say the mitzvahs are pillars, the Alter Rebbe explains in the Geras HaKodesh, Asher rotzin ha'elyon nikra b'shem keser. The rotzin ha'elyon, the supreme will, that's called keser. When we talk about keser, the level of Keser, we have the level of Atzilus, and then you have the level of Keser, which is higher. Keser is the level of Rotzen. Supreme Rotzen, we call it Keser. The Isa B'Tfilas Rab Nechunya ben HaKona, it's brought down in the Zohar, in the prayer of Rab Nechunya ben HaKona, Asher b'HaKeser yesh b'tof reish chof amudi oir. In Keser, the word Keser spells Tov Resh Chof. That's why it's called Keser. So in this Rotzen, in the Keser, there is Tov Resh Chof, 620 pillars of light. Because you have like this represents the mitzvahs, because you have 613 mitzvahs, plus the 7 mitzvahs of the Rabbanan. Together is 620. So that's Keser. Keser is the will of Hashem. That's mitzvahs. You're doing what Hashem wants you. That's the command that Hashem is Rotzen Elyon. In the Rotzen Elyon, there is 620 pillars of light. So the Alter Rebbe explains it. The Kemoy sheyesh amudim bebayis choyma godel. Just like there are pillars. If you have a large home, by schema means a home in the in the wall. You have a large one, nitzovim ba'aretz. So you have pillars that stay in the ground. V'reisha mechuber betikra, and the top of the pillar is connected to the roof. That pillar is in between the in the house that stands on the ground, connects to the roof. Kacham mitzvahs. Likewise, the mitzvahs. That's why they're pillars also. Nitzovi mereim hamailas hurotzed elyon baruch hu. They standing from the highest of levels, which is the Eibish's rotzen, and they have been drawn down till the ground. Shah mitzvahs nislapsh. What does it mean? That the mitzvahs were brought down. Nislapshus begashmius. They dressed up physically. Begam hamitzvahs shaloi nislapshu begashmius. Even mitzvahs that have not been dressed up in physicality. So normally you have the amudim that go from the Rotzen Elyon into Gashmis. But even mitzvahs that are not dressed up in Gashmis, harinitnu la'odom hagashmi, but they were given, who does them? A physical person. Shuhu bal b'chira lahatis levov l'tov v'chulu, who has the choice to tilt his heart for the good, etc., or the negative. So therefore, that's a connection always below, because it's connecting to a person for him to do. So that's the idea of amudim that come from the rotzin, from the level of keser, all the ways down to this world in mitzvahs gashmis, or at least to a person who's a gashmi, who can tilt his heart to either direction. And that's why there is a level of amud to bring it down from the top to the bottom, to connect the highest to the lowest. The Rebbe is saying here that the idea of a keresh, amudim, that we say about the Mishkan, it is to tie the higher with the lower, just similar to what the mitzvahs do. Just like the mitzvahs are called amudim, this is also called amudim, to tie together the higher and the lower. However, the Rebbe is going to say that there is a difference in the Loshen. The Rebbe is going to explain now. There is a difference in the Loshen as you look at the difference between the way the connection is between Kroshim and mitzvahs, and also between the Mishkan and the mitzvahs. Brings them down together. The idea of mitzvahs is connecting. The idea of Kroshim is connecting. The Amudim is connecting. He's going to go explain the Chiluk. Okay, but we're out of time here, so we'll leave it over here, and we'll be mafshik tomorrow. Shir koyach.